Hello there. Welcome to another pottery video with me. Today, I'm going to be making a vase made of 6 pounds of clay. Right now, the first step is to just weigh the clay. Right now, currently, my thing says 6.3 pounds. So I'm just going to take that wire tool and cut off some of the excess clay. That was a little bad, I'm sorry. Alright, here I go again. Alright, now I'm only at 6.02. I still need to remove a tiny bit, so I'll use my finger, and now we're at 6 pounds exact. Time to wedge it. Alright. So now, before we start, I'm going to take a little bit of clay from my clay bag, because I'm going to be using a batting system, and I don't have any pins on my wheel. Alright, I took a little chunk off, so now I think this should be enough for my batting system. It's a 10-inch by 10-inch bat that I'm going to be using. I'm just going to grab a little more because who knows how much I'm going to need. Probably going to be a thick plate, but it's okay. By the way, this clay is extremely firm. So please forgive me if later you notice that I'm struggling to work with this clay. Now it's time to wedge. Wedging is the process that potters do to remove air pockets from their clay. It's useful to also combine the particles together so that it's a smooth ball. Right now I'm done with that. It took me literally like 30 seconds. Since this is just a clay plate, I'm not gonna have to worry about wedging it too good. Now here's the actual 6-pound mass that I am gonna be throwing. I am going to be wedging this for probably a minute or so because a lot of the air pockets are still in there and I need them gone completely. If they are not gone, then I will have a hard time throwing, and I'm not going to enjoy what happens after it's out of the kiln. So, as you can see, I'm using a spiral wedge method, and I am constantly using my arms and my body weight to help. And I'm being very careful when I'm slowing down to make it into a cone shape to make sure I don't trap air. Now that I'm done, I'm just going to use a rocking motion back and forth. It's a little bit hard because my wedging board is small and isn't stuck to my plastic table. So I just snap the clay around because I don't want those like divots around. On the bottom, unfortunately, there's a hole there. So thankfully you can just scrape some clay in there, obviously. And I'm just going to rock it one more time after I do this to make sure that it looks perfect. Now that the bottom looks smooth, it's time to go to the wheel. Alright, here we go. This is the firm clay that is going to be as our plate to hold the bat down. First step is to just slam it and make sure it's stuck. Now it's time for the throwing part. I go ahead and grab some water, which is in a bucket that is under the camera, unfortunately. I wish I had it on the other side so you can see, but I have water under there. But first, before I do that, I just gotta make sure that's really stuck. So now I just put some water. And yes, that was a sponge. I do not have water on the tray. I'd rather just grab it from a bucket that is away from your sight. So now I am gonna struggle with centering this because it is an extremely firm mass. Please forgive me if I look like I am fighting a serious battle. This is really annoying, but you know what? I just have to do it. And since this is a plate that is going to be to hold the bat down, it doesn't have to be absolutely centered. It just has to be able to match the diameter of the bat and to make sure it stays on the center. So it doesn't have to be completely on the center because I can just adjust the bat to wherever I want it. So, as you can see, I am still struggling a little bit, and you can see on the bottom left of the mass that it's still wobbling slightly, and the mass is not symmetrical at all. Probably because of the way I didn't, surprisingly didn't, do anything about the clay shape before I slammed it on the wheel. So now, I am still struggling. A little bit, okay. Looks okay, I guess. Now, I am going to press it down with all of my weight. I am using my whole arm to press it down. As you can see, this mass is not completely centered, which I said is okay anyways. So it's going to take a long time to do. This process is going to be extremely slow, especially with very firm clay like this. This clay has been sitting under the shelf where that extra wheel on the bottom right is, if you can see it. It's been sitting right under there for the past couple of months. Because before I made this video, I was working with a different color clay. I don't know if it was black or white. I think it was black clay. But I was working with a different color clay, and I needed to save this because all my clays have different shrinkage rates. So I had to be very careful with my cleaning process. So, as you can see, I'm still struggling with applying pressure to the clay because of how firm it is. I still have a lot to go. I am using a lot of pressure. I'm trying to use a lot of pressure. Now I'm going to take my other hand out. And as you can tell, I'm speeding up this part. I'm speeding it up because if I left at normal speed, it would take me 5 to 10 minutes of constantly trying. I just use the bat to make sure I'm not going too wide, because if I do that, it will be a pain to take it out after. So I'm sorry, I forgot to get my straight middle rib, so I'm going to get that real quick. It's just to make sure it's straight. If I do not do this part, then the clay bat might as well just be higher than the rest of the plate, and then it will not stick, and then I will have problems. So now I am putting spirals on the clay bat. These spirals are going to trap air when I slap the clay bat on it, and physically it's going to stay stuck there because the high pressure air is going to keep it stuck in place. So after I put spirals, I'm just going to put a little bit of water just to wet it a little bit. Put a little too much water, but it's okay. So now I'm going to draw an X. This X is going to act as extra air. So unfortunately, this was kind of stupid. I have to now sponge out most of the water. I'm going to draw the X again, and I have to redo the spirals because they kind of got messed up. Which is okay. It's very easy to fix that. So now, it's time to apply the bat. You don't have to center the bat. It's only about the clay. If you would like to center the bat, that would absolutely make your life easier. But I'm still trying. I'm trying my best, and I'm speeding this part up too. Don't worry, I'm not using high wheel speed. It's just taking me a long time. Not only has to be centered, but it also has to stick very good to the plate. Once I'm confident that this plate is stuck, even though it's not centered, I'm going to take my clay and I'm going to get started. I am a little nervous. Oh, wait, I forgot about this part. Sorry, guys. Sorry, my voiceover is not aligned. I forgot to mention this part. To give extra stability and secure it in place, I am going to use clay lugs to put around the bat. And unfortunately, these clay lugs have to be really thick. Otherwise, they would just slide under the bat and they would barely provide support. This is just to extra secure it. There's no other way to secure it. Clay is my only friend here to secure it. And as you can see, the clay lugs are a little bit short, but it's okay because I believe they will stick the bat in place. I trust it. Physics is our friend here, alright? Physics is our friend. It's the reason why the clay bat is getting stuck. I'm spinning the wheel so I can apply the clay lugs evenly across the bat so they do not stick. I mean, so they do stick and blah, 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 whatever. So, just leaning my head, making sure that everything looks good. Making sure that all my clay is gone. Now that I'm confident, I am just going to take the sponge and I am going to clean the bat a little bit. Clean it up a little bit, make sure it's not too damp, because the clay won't stick. Now here's the actual clay part. Now you take the clay, and now you have to slam it hard. Now I can begin actually making the vase. So, this part is going to be sped up, otherwise this video would be way too long. So right now what I'm doing is I am applying water, and I am still struggling to center it because, first of all, this clay is not absolutely soft. If it was really soft, like extremely soft, that would not be good. That means that the vase would not hold its shape and it would just warp. So, centering large masses like this is extremely hard, especially if you have a fear that the bat is going to still move, because your pressure could be greater than the air that is holding the bat, and then eventually you will have a harder time. So now, I'm pretty confident that this is centered, so now I'm just going to press it down a little bit. Pressing it down and putting your hands on the sides, rather than coning it up and down, will work better. So after I'm pretty confident that it's done, I'm going to start pulling the walls. So, just give it a second. I still need time. So now here we go. I'm sorry that the camera angles are not changing, but maybe in the future. So I am going to pull the walls out until the base is thick enough. I use a needle tool to make sure that the thickness is of my liking, and to make sure that the thickness does not interfere. If the thickness is too thin, we're going to have a horrible time throwing. Not throwing, but it will just be bad. So now it's time to pull the walls up. I'm not a huge fan of making big pots, but I'm trying my best. What I am now doing is officially pulling up the walls. So, now, since they are really thick, I have to keep on coloring in the walls, and I need to apply a little more pressure. But as the walls get taller, I don't have to color in too much, and also it's still a little harder to control it. Look, see that slight angulation, whatever the hell you call it, in the rim? That's perfectly normal. That's just a sign that I didn't center it too much. Unfortunately, even if you did center it, this will happen with tall forms. But you can probably tell that angulation was still up there probably before I started pulling, so that means it didn't center well. But since I'm throwing, that means that the wall thickness might be even, but I don't know. And as you can probably see, the top of the pot is splaying out, so I have to keep coloring it in. It's kind of my fault that this splays out, because I am not really careful with this, because I keep trying to rest my arm against the side. I don't want to like mess up anything. Now, this may seem scary, the fact that it is undulating too much and possibly even wobbling, but I'm here to tell you right now, if you were me right now, you'd see that it's not scary. It looks scary, but trust me, it's not scary. You can see the shape is deformed a little bit. Just keep coloring it in. Literally, coloring is your best friend. Pulling is harder than coloring. Coloring is easier because you use your whole hand. The angulation is kind of getting worse. Don't worry, I will cut that off later. So right now, I'm still pulling up the wall. Unfortunately, as you'll see later in this video, I'm not really gaining too much height. I am absolutely not gaining height. Basically, pulling the walls up are useless. But if you see I'm gaining height, then you probably have better vision than I do. But I don't think I'm gaining height. I think this is the highest I can get. Let's just see how much height I can get, since this is just a voiceover. Alright. Well, I'm trying. I guess I'm gaining a little bit of height. So, once I've gained the proper height, I'm going to start shaping it, but not now. Or I guess now. Sorry about that. Yep, I'm shaping it right now, guys. I think I'm done with the height. As you can see, I'm splaying it out through the middle, and I am making a straight line. Alright? So now, I'm going to keep trying to pull. As you can see, I made that little curvature in the bottom. That was not intended. Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is not intended. I don't want to make that curvature. But wherever the curve starts, that's unfortunately where the base stops. Starts. The base is way too thick, unfortunately. That's what I'm trying to say. It's okay, not a big deal. Right now, I just cut off the undulation. It was very annoying. Super freaking annoying, man. I swear, I hate undulations. Wobble is still there. It's okay, not a big deal. Wobble will just fix off later. Now, what I'm doing is continuing to shape the thing. The curvature is not gonna freaking end. Right now, this pot kind of looks unexpectedly horrible. If I were to end it here right now, would not be good. Now, I'm going to use a freaking turning tool, whatever the hell it is. Use the turning tool. It's a T-shaped sharp tool that I just press down. And then I just turn it 90 degrees down to basically cut the clay on the bottom. See that? All that clay is gone now. Now, you can see the curvature is not there anymore because I removed clay. But unfortunately, the base is really thick, so it's pissing me off. Pisses me off so freaking much, I swear. Not a big deal, though. The walls are perfectly straight now. I'm so pissed off because the base is freaking thick as hell, man. I hate that, man. This base is going to be very thick. This is barely a vase. This isn't even a vase. I don't even know if I would consider it a vase. This is ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. This is literally the pot I was aiming for, but I wanted a base that was thin as hell. If I did have a vase that was thin as hell, then I could make this pot taller. But you know what? I'm only grateful that it is this height because otherwise you wouldn't see the rest of the freaking vase. It would get off the camera. And I'd basically be filming myself doing a portion of my work. So now, what the hell am I doing? I'm going to be taking this metal kidney. And I know. I shouldn't be calling it kidney, rib, whatever the... Anyways, I'm going to be taking the metal rib and I'm going to be refining the parts where I want the sides to end and start. Alright, as you can see, they're straight. The middle part is not directly straight, but do I give a crap? It's okay. I'm a little pissed off at this pot because it's not what I expected. But guess what? I'm going to let y'all know right now, this is literally the third time in like 7 or 8 months, almost a year, that I've pulled a pot this tall. And this is 6 pounds of clay. I've never freaking thrown a pot with 6 pounds of clay. The reason I say this tall is because I've been throwing pots that are this tall with like 3 pounds of clay. How am I easily able to do that? I have no clue. Because, I'll tell you why. It's because I made the base way too wide, which is a stupid mistake I should have been more cautious about before I started. It's okay. We got that sharp angle in. Whatever. Sharp angle is good. Is good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm trying to use a sponge to get rid of that freaking line. Unfortunately, it's not working. This part pissed me off. I'm not only pissed off right now, I'm also pissed off during this moment in the freaking video. This video was recorded 2 days ahead of time. Whatever. Because, anyways, I'm done. I don't want to freaking fix this anymore. Yeah, I'm done. I'm just walking around because I can. Now, time to cut this shit off. Look at this beautiful ass pot. Look at it. It looks so beautiful because you can't notice that the base is freaking thick as hell. Alright, anyways, time to clean this shit up. Yep, I forgot to record myself being destructive as hell. But I'm going to be destructive as hell right now just because I started recording. I'm sorry I didn't record my pot getting into the thing. As you can see, I'm literally trying to get rid of this clay. It's pushing me back. Yeah, whatever. Voiceover, I can't match my feelings in that video. Alright. Well, I am having a struggle taking this clay off because it's stuck to the wheel. Super stuck. I don't know what to freaking do. It won't come off like a freaking repellent or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, I am literally, I feel like I'm throwing something and I collapsed it. Don't worry, I'm going to wedge this clay back up. It's not going to be standing in my slip board or anything. Yeah, I'm having a horrible time do this. I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to have you guys enjoy my struggle for the rest of the video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please drop a like and help me have a better time with this throwing. I hope that I gain experience. At the end of this video, you're going to see some cool photos of this pot plus a couple others. Anyways, enjoy my suffering while you can. Goodbye. Part 2 of trimming will also be posted as soon as the pot is loaded hard. But that's probably not going to be for a week or so, because my shelf is humid as hell. Alright, thank you for watching. You can either continue watching the rest of this video, or you can leave. I am out. Adios.